Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Haraami United. Still your favorite podcast. Whether love or hate us, we're still here. Hated, adored, never ignored. At the 11th hour, we're always here. I've got the main boys, Akil, Afzal, and Riz. How you doing, boys?
All good. All good. How are you?
All good, man. All good.
Yeah,
All
man.
good, man. Can't complain.
Always a great week when you're a Manchester United supporter and when you're a Brown Munde. Do you know what I mean? There's always something going on. There's never a dull day. Riz, where do we get started this week, man?
I would address the game, man, because I was after our Champions League game, I was livid, honestly, because
Riz,
I'm tired, man.
We promised we're going to do this later on, man. तो तो पहले शुरू हो गया, do you know what I mean? The reality, Janda. Do you know what I mean?
It's bugging me, bro. It's bugging me. Let's address it.
Just to let everybody know. Just to let everybody know, we've been having a debate on WhatsApp messages, and believe you me, do you know what I mean? Anybody else they think, "Ha, the Munde lan lag gaya," like, do you know what I mean? This is how heated it gets, even between us. Like, do you know what I mean? So luckily, we all love each other. We're all brothers and that. So. But 100%. Reese, we did say we're going to save this, but Reese is obviously proper Gusim.
Can we just add one thing before we go into this? This is actually our second attempt recording this because Tej had audio issues and tried to pin it on everybody else. And look who's not turned up again.
And lo, who's not turned up, yeah. So he'll try and come. He'll try and grace us with his presence. But Reese, go on. I'm going to... Just do a couple of minutes.
I'll keep it loose for now, then we can have a bigger debate once Tej joins. Here's what irritates me, right? I said this time and time again. For me, it's about the players' body language that does show that you care. And on a night that should have been about the legend that's, Bobby Charlton, on a night that the guy who represents what Manchester United is all about, that night was for him. And just for that one night, you can't put your period pains off by having some tablets of Feminax, yeah? So that you've not got that bitchy look on your face, Rashford, and you actually bust a gut and actually work hard and you actually put a performance in for him. No one else. No one else. Forget everything else. But for him on that special night, that I can't forgive. And that, for me, shows me these guys don't give a damn. It's not about tactics. It's not about games like that in emotional situations, where an absolute legend, not just of the club, of football has gone, right? You put on a show. You put on a show for him. And these guys could not do that. It's great to win against Copenhagen. Scrape to win against Copenhagen. Think about that. On a night where they should have put on a show. And that, for me, I can't take no more from these players. They don't give a damn. Everyone's going on, get behind the team, all of these fans. I can't. Not on the night when our legend got disrespected by them, in my opinion, on the pitch.
Yeah, look, I think this has been some of the debates that we've been having between ourselves, and you're right to point it out. What a legend, Mr. Manchester United. I would only say there's only other two people that you would put in that bracket, Sir Matt Busby and obviously Sir Alex Ferguson. But what Sir Bobby Charlton did for us, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. People forget he was the main supporter of Sir Alex Ferguson all those years when it looks like he was going to lose his job. So if he wasn't there backing Sir Alex Ferguson, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. So massive legend and massive loss to the United community, but like you said, Riz, the football community in wide. But the man who named our stadium the Theatre of Dreams, and he was true to that.
Yeah.
But moving on, Riz, because obviously I know you're limited with your time as well. Where do we start?
Now I feel like I got something.
No, that's good. But where do we start, man? Like I said, there's so many things being going off the pitch, and I think some of these kind of things. And the reason why I wanted to start with you is some of these things you've already said beforehand in our previous podcasts. We've kind of discussed this. But not last Saturday, the Saturday before, Sheikh Jassim had pulled out and Sir Jim Ratcliffe was around the corner, imminent to sign the deal, the 25% deal.
Yeah.
Move on, nearly 2 weeks now. what are the things that we're hearing? I think, like I said, these are the kind of things that you'd already spoken about, but just remind the listeners, just in case they're, if they've not listened.
Before I talk about that, what I'd say to the listeners generally is, Akal istemal kar yaar. Use your own flipping brains. What's 25% going to do for Man United? Use your own logic. Don't get you lost in the euphoria. Just take a step back. What's 1.5 billion going to do for the finances of Man United, as you've seen the finances today? Squiddly dot. So you spend that 1.5 billion on buying shares, right? Glazers shares, let's say, that's what they buy, if reports are to be believed. That goes in the Glazers' pocket. You think the Glazers are pumping that into the club? So therefore, he's come in, he's got 25% share. Why is he going to spend more money on the stadium and things like that? Why is he going to do that?
They do say, they are saying, obviously,
Sorry.
It's just because I just want to make sure, although I know what people are like when they're listening, they don't use their own mark, like you said, they don't use their own brains. It is said that that out of that 25%, some of it will be the shares, because they're not going to get angry, then they won't take him to court. So this is one of the ways around Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to do it. But yeah, go on. But your overall comment and
it doesn't make it doesn't. So Akal comment is just use your own brain, bros. Right? Use your own brain. Now, nothing new. They never pulled out. That's the only thing I said new. When that news came out on the Monday, absolutely not pulled out. Absolutely 100% not pulled out. If he was going to pull out, he would have told the world himself. He would have broken the NDA if that's it. It's Sheikh Jassim, man. It's HBJ's son. It's the ex-prime minister of a country that's the biggest investor into the UK, right? These guys don't care about NDAs, right? If he pulled out before he told them, before he said, listen, I'm pissed off, I'm pulling out, before he went down that route, he would have told the world. He would have written a nice little essay, nice little statement to the world announcing, I'm stepping down. This is the reason why. You've got scumbag owners, which you already know, but this is how scumbaggy they are, and this is the reason, therefore, why I'm stepping down. He would have told the world himself. That's what I'm told. Secondly, no, absolutely not stepped out. Perhaps digging his heels in now, to say, listen, get this stuff over the line fast now. You're taking a mick now, but not pulled out. Very confident they're going to buy the club. That's why I'm still super confident, as you see every single time. Ignore the noise. Add on to all of that, I would say the media make their money off hype. I always say this. What's going to make more headline stories? A fireman rescuing a kitten from a tree, or Kurt Zuma kicking a kitten across the kitchen? What's going to make headlines? The drama, right? The drama. What's going to sell the papers? What's going to sell the clicks? What's going to get their dough in from the social media platforms because of their amount of likes, the interactions, and everything they've got, as well as all the newspapers they sell, the sign-ups they have for their shitty, bullshitting, sorry, I know it's Munde, websites, yeah? What's going to generate that? Drama. So they're playing with your minds, right? Oh, all of a sudden, Sir Jim's going to buy it for 25%. You can't do that. It doesn't work, right? Secondly, today, Jim might walk away. They're playing with your emotions again. It doesn't make sense that what a sports journalist starts to preach and talk to you about, and you believe that's sacrosanct, then that's on you, man. But all I say is, when the official announcement is, let's talk then. Because I promise you, it won't be at 25% SJR at that point. I guarantee you that. It won't be any percent SJR. It's Qatar's. Simple.
Yeah, and Aki, I think, although we can't tie this together, but it has to be done somewhere. We've got the news of UBS. Was it yesterday or the day before? And the credit line that they've enhanced for the aforementioned HBJ.
Yeah. You asking Aki, yeah?
Yeah. Who, me or you?
You, Aki.
Aki, how many Akis is there?
I'm literally confused. What was the question again, sorry?
See, that's how much he listens. Just like I was saying, there was news, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about UBS as well, giving credit line.
Yeah, that came obviously for HBJ. It's a personal investment, a personal credit line for HBJ. It's like Rich said yesterday, no one literally can get hold of a personal. That's HBJ himself. Now, I think we said this from the very start. Sheikh Jassim wants the club. HBJ wants Manchester now. Another thing that I was going to say was Qatar's made a deal with the UK for 10 billion. Yeah. Now, if you put that into the same bracket of this investment, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And you have to look at it from not from the club's point of view, but from an investment point of view as well. Because if you look at Sheikh Jassim's manifesto, he also says investment in the community as well. Do you know what I mean? So the airport, the travel centre, you've got the land around Old Trafford. He's going to literally buy everything. It's going to be everything.
Yeah, that's what the plans are. The grand plans. Remember, way back in April, May time, we were talking about this. They want to buy Manchester Airport. They want to buy Trafford Centre. They want to make Trafford Centre not just the biggest mall in Europe, but one of the biggest malls in the world.
I've also seen the ports as well. They want some investment in the ports.
So this is a mammoth investment, and at the heart of it is Manchester United, right? That 9 billion is not needed to buy the club. That 9 billion is to invest in infrastructure, to invest in, not just the stadium and the training facilities or just the land directly around the stadium, is to then extend that land from there all the way to Trafford Centre. So if you know that route, from there, if you go all the way up towards Trafford Centre, that whole area they're going to develop. The land around Trafford Centre they're going to acquire or are acquiring. They're going to massively improve that. It's the Manchester Airport, the links from the airport straight to the stadium, straight to the 5-star hotels that they're going to be building in that city around Manchester United Stadium. That whole thing they're building, that's what they're investing in. It's not just Man United Football Club. And that's what
Can you
people
just add one thing on the back of this 9 billion as well?
Sorry?
I just want to add one thing on the back of this 9 billion as well.
Yeah.
It is reportedly unsecured.
It is unsecured. It's against him. It's his
how much
reputation.
power has he got?
You know what UBS want? UBS want to break into the Middle East, right? The original deal with Credit Suisse would have given them that opportunity. They bought Credit Suisse out, right? They want to extend into the Middle East. Al Thani, that's who HBJ is. The ruling family of Qatar. The tribe that is the ruling royal family, right? Ex-Prime Minister of Qatar. Very well connected guy. Word is his bond. Yeah.
The guy who hangs around with Larry Fink, David Solomon. So Larry Fink of BlackRock, Solomon of Goldman Sachs.
Them going to his yard.
Blackpool, the CEO as well. Forgot his name. It's just gone out of his head. So the guys who basically run banking and money around the world are coming to.
And they're his boys, right? The point is, what's going to be their interest payment? The interest payment is opening up all the opportunities that a click of a finger can do for them from HBJ in the Middle East. That's their interest payment, right? It's a personal 9 billion invest or credit line open for HBJ for whatever he needs. It's basically putting it a crude way. Here's 9 billion, bro. Open up all the doors for me. I want to do this in Qatar. Give me the licenses to do that. Ex-Prime Minister, part of the royal family, very well-respected figure. No problem. You can do that by a click of a finger. Free money.
And the thing is, who else do you give it to? Who else do you give it to? You give it to HBJ. Do you know what I mean? And what's funny is the last couple of days, I've been hearing the actual word saying, who's HBJ from a lot of people, and it's literally just pissed me off. It's just like, do you not know who's HBJ? Who he is?
The thing is,
but the thing is, though, can I just say one thing to that? Because Aki's made a good point. These are, and sorry if I offend you, but uneducated fools, right? You're not cultured enough. You're living in your bubble, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know the world. And if you know the world, you know who HBJ is, yeah? So if you've got somebody that doesn't know who he is, that's then going off what a sports journal's saying, or some riddler, is riddling somewhere on space somewhere. If you're going to go off that, then it shows me that your mind's not broad enough for you to be able to comprehend the overall equation, for you to be able to put, your own logic to it and define. 25% don't got it. Simple as that, right? So Up to you, man. But when it's announced, it's going to be a banging day.
Yeah, I mean, just and going back to Aki's point, they don't know who HBJ is. It's so many Man United fans who've got so many who've come for us, and you know, you've got even some of the Muppeteers. I think even you was tagged in one of the quotes as well recently, Akil as well.
Yeah.
What made me laugh was that they said one of the reasons why was it
Proof of funds.
yes,
lack of funds.
the lack of
The
funds.
Lack of funds. Proof of funds. Yeah.
The lack of the proof of lack of funds, but failing. Yeah, we just seen UBS are just giving 9 billion, not 9 million. I don't think people can even understand how many zeros are in this 9 billion and how long that would take to make 9 billion credit. And that's just a single person, not even like an institute or so many different groups of people, just to one person.
It's not a business. It's not an asset. It's not an entity. It's to an individual.
So when people are talking to us, I think yourselves, Aki and Riz as well, people have been quoting, but when they're saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the debt's no good, but now it's HBJ, the debt's okay, is it? No, I think what people forget, the debt isn't going on Manchester. Just to say, this 9 billion, okay, that isn't for Manchester United per se. The Manchester United per se is the 9-2 Foundation that will be having its own gear that will clear all the debts and things like that. But what that 9 billion would, don't forget, HBJ is in combination with this bid for Manchester United. I think people forget that, and people haven't realised that for some reason. Even some of the ardent Man United
if you
fans.
go back to if you go back to that interview with David Rubenstein
back in February,
you know his actual words. He goes, "I'm not supportive of the bid, but I like the investment in that sense."
He's backing his boy.
Just anyone that can read between the lines would know exactly what he's saying. If you got akal in it, you got to have akal, bro.
What did he say in that interview as well? He says, I didn't back the World Cup bid, but I seen what it did and what it does, and I thought, okay, that's fair enough. And where did Qatar make their money back? It was on the infrastructure that they set around Qatar. And all the businesses and all the stadiums, everything else that they set.
And all the investment that's going into Qatar now, bro. There's a lot of investment going in there, foreign investment now. UBS being one of the many examples. And by the way, those that will ask, why does he need a 9 billion loan? Well, firstly, it's not a loan; it's a credit line to an individual. Why does he need that if his family?
So, Riz, just explain that to somebody. Sorry, just explain that. That's a bit like when you've got a bank account where you've got, I don't know, £1,000 in your bank, but you've got a credit of £200, £500. So if you spend that £1,000 in your bank, you still got another £500 to go into if you want, because they trust you. Overdraft. Sorry, yeah, there you go. But this man hasn't got £500 or £1,000. He's got 9 billion. So we're going. So
what I was saying is, what HBJ is going to do is he's going to take this 9 billion and he's going to make it into another 340 billion. That's it. That's how you do business, right? Yeah. Then none of that's not even going towards Man United. They already got the money for Man United, right? That's not going for. That's to buy Manchester Airport. That's to buy Trafford Centre. That's to buy all the land from the stadium, around the stadium, all the way to Trafford Centre. Who's been buying land recently in that strip? Aki? There's been a lot of acquisition going on in that strip now, isn't there?
There's a few companies that, well, the lawyers behind it, I know personally through people. There's one company I forgot from the top of my head. I can't remember, but they have been buying a lot of places, and a few of the loans have been slowly being paid off as well. So if you want to put 2 and 2 together, it's 4, not 5.
You sure it's not 9?
I'm not too sure, you know.
So, summary of this topic, Harps. No, he's not pulled out. Yeah. No, SJR ain't gonna buy it at 25%. Bollocks.
Raise the 25% though. It doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense either. I mean, akal, man. People don't have akal. That's the point, right?
No, if you go into the financial kind of part of it, the numbers don't make sense.
But 1 second, you know what? Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I know Riz is, like I said, spare for time. So thank you for Riz. But before you go, what I also want to quickly touch upon as well is even the report that's come out today. I think it's Express and the Independent, I think, might be running with it as well, about Sir Jim Ratcliffe may pull out if he doesn't get what he wants, the exporting control now. Before, like I said, last Saturday or the Saturday before, it was 100% he's going to get it. Now they're going to. Now he may drop out.
I think there you go, right? So the Express saying that SJR is going to drop out, yeah? Then they say 2 weeks ago that Jassim dropped out, in which case what they're now saying is Glazers are staying. That's the next drama. Actually, that makes sense when you say it out loud, right? Well, 2 weeks ago they told you Jassim's dropped out. Now they're threatening that SJR is going to drop out. They're going to drop this bomber saying Glazers are staying. And that's going to send you all another spin again, yeah? And then all of a sudden, 11th hour, Jassim comes in and gets what he wants, 360. And they've made their money on all these headlines and dramas. Don't forget, this is a story of a lifetime for every single one of these journals. They ain't going to get a story like this ever again in their life in sports journalism. They've got to get those fingers creatively writing and typing away and those typewriters at home, man, because these guys not going to get a story like this. They're going to milk it. They're going to juice every ounce of bullshit you can possibly get out of it. That's their job. They're journals. They chat shit.
Yeah,
and there's Riddlers that's formed off the back of that side effect of the medicine, you know.
I wouldn't. Yeah, the Riddlers, the Chupples, the flip floppers. Everybody knows what the Chuppel is now. Big up Sally Reese, big supporter of the podcast as well. I think she understands that as well. What's happening? So big up Sally. Yeah, and the thing is, it's just crazy, Reese. I think there's not too long left to go, and once it happens, I'm going to start asking you for the lottery numbers. You know what I mean? Because I think since April, I think people who've been in spaces, and you're not had to be in spaces now for a long time because nothing's really changed, but they'll piece the things that you have been saying between yourselves and Aki. The things you've been saying have slowly but surely been coming out.
Can I get the American Powerball numbers? Because that's like a bigger winning.
Is that a bigger winning?
Yeah, that's like 100, 200, 500 million or something. You know, Brown Monday will have a full HQ, the lot, you know.
Yeah. Right, so here's the thing. I still said House Deeds on the line. I said it before. They're still on the line, boys. Yeah. Justin's gonna.
Yeah, I've just made a grand just to put it out there.
Yeah. Bide your time. Time-wise, no idea. Genuinely,
Yeah.
boys. No idea. We can't sit here and just make that up. No idea whatsoever. Right? But it's gonna be Justin. 100%. And it's not gonna be SJR at all. I promise you.
Yeah, and I think, and we've always maintained that. I'll reiterate that again. We've never said timelines because we simply just don't know, and we've kind of always backed Sheikh Jassim, and we're still there at the moment in time as well. But sorry, Aki, I cut you up earlier. We was talking about the 25%, and I still don't know how it makes sense, man.
You know what? I've actually asked like 6-7 financial experts. Two of my mates who work in London. They work for one of the biggest for financial business. Let me just put it that way. Outlets that is, and they even I've literally dropped a question to them, and they're just like, it does not make sense. If you look at it from a PLC point of view, shares, and you got class A and B, it doesn't make sense at all. They've literally told me about it, and it's gone in one ear and out the other because it's confused me.
See, the thing on that as well is it wouldn't be class A and B shares because of the way the memorandum is.
Yeah.
The Glazers sell. They become class A shares. They automatically have, normal voting power, and the class B have times 10 or times 4 or something daft. So he can buy up all these shares. He ain't going to have jack. He's not going to have sporting control. And as a result, he's not going to have, if he wants some sort of control, his shares and the classification of his shares don't back that up. So the Glazers are going to be like, our shares are worth more than yours, mate. You might have a higher percentage than us, but ours have more voting power.
Yeah, remind me again, Afsal, you're in the corporate finance world, isn't it?
I am, unfortunately.
So
I'll get people asking questions. But it's a messy thing because obviously he has to buy 2% from that person, 3% from that person, 2% from Eminence Capital, and 3% from these guys. And it's just, first of all, you've got to get all these parties to agree to it. So are they really going to agree to that?
Well, I saw somewhere a report that the 12 board members haven't even come together yet to even discuss this.
No,
25%.
I think they're still deciding what the buffet is going to be.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you had the media saying it's a done deal and it's 2 weeks away. Then it was a formality. Now
And Ineos
it's
were going to discuss it on their board meeting, and then apparently
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't
then
discussed. And
in Quattro, and I think Ben Jacobs and Bloomberg said there's a Quattro call, but then Mupati said it's an Ineos team, but then Bloomberg said it's not even going to be Ineos, it's going to be Sir Jim's personal wealth. It's just a
and
shit show.
Quattro,
isn't it?
just for the listeners, is not Audi's; it's Ineos's
Audi.
financial
Yeah,
department people.
it's just a shit show all over with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Nothing makes sense.
And forget us. Look, people have accused us of just being Qatar because we're back in Qatar. This podcast's all about Qatar, although we don't. We do talk about loads of other things. But forget us. Forget what we say. You even got the likes of Kieran Maguire, who teaches finance. I know a football agent, and I think it was this week or last week he was with him as well. So this guy Kieran Maguire is also teaching finance to football agents, professional level. And I think one of the lads, he also asked Kieran Maguire, how does this 25% make sense? Can you explain? And I think Kieran Maguire was also asking the question as well. He said, I still don't know. And this is a guy who's got no dog in the fight as such, and he's a money guy, and even he doesn't understand it.
Let's take it out of. Go on, Aki.
That was to the financial that came out today, though, wasn't it? From what
Yeah.
it's going to change. I mean, it's not going to change nothing. And I think
but let's just take this.
One thing I got told about it was as well is 25% in that deal doesn't even take it as a control for even a sporting side as well.
It wouldn't, because he's got no voting rights.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing.
But like I'm saying, let's just take this out of football, right? Okay, Aki, you own a business. Hops, you're one of the shareholders. I'm buying into that business, yeah? Let's say your business is worth 10 billion. And I come in and I say, right, boys, you guys are looking to sell. I want to buy in. I'm going to give you 1.5 billion. And you say, well, okay, 1.5 billion. Yeah, cool. You can have 20%. And that's it. Oh, but also we want you to pay off our debt. We want you to pay off our stadium. And we're in control. I'm like, nah, mate, like, see you later. We're done. No one's going to fork over 1.5 billion and just be like, yeah, do what you want with my money. You heard earlier Riz talk about HBJ and his £9 billion or 9 billion, whatever currency it is, it's 9 billion and it's a credit line. They've given that to him with ultimate trust that he will, A, if he needs to dip into it, repay it and then some. B, like Riz said, all his partners, all his colleagues, all his peers, they're all going to get a piece of that pie. And it's going to be flipped into substantially more.
Yeah, and I think we've also kind of mentioned in the past as well, Darcy Glazer Kasowicz, I think that's how you pronounce it, excuse me if I've got it wrong, and then her husband Joel Kasowicz, who've also got dealings in the Middle East already anyway. And, part of this deal would help the other Glazers facilitate investments within the region as well. So what you've got to kind of work out as well is this deal isn't just about the transaction of Manchester United. It's after that as well. So I think people kind of overlook that. But I'm just going to move on to just a couple of things. Just as we're talking about Manchester United and the takeover, I think we might hear something tomorrow. Is that right?
Well, the man himself isn't here, but if people listen back to our previous episodes, there was a podcast, I believe, was it episode 24? Haraami United, Tej Against the World was the title. And he was talking to us about his mate, who was a tiler, and he did the tiles for the head of Security United, and Rashford's mum was kicking off about a price hike and all of this. Apparently, that same Tyler has said news will come out tomorrow, and it will basically be done to quell any negativity pre the derby.
And that news is going to be Sheikh Jassim is taking over, right?
I mean, we need to hear it from the horse's mouth, and conveniently he's gone missing today.
He's gone missing.
Yeah,
Maybe he's with the
he
Tyler.
said-
He's gone to Manchester to kind of, celebrate already. Bearing in mind it's
Maybe,
Thursday
yeah.
today.
Yeah, he
Ted is
said
about
10,
as
15
ITK
minutes. He
these
said
days.
10, 15 minutes, but it's been over an hour now.
This
I
year,
don't know where he is. I don't know where he is.
Ted.
So look, guys, this isn't from officially the Brown Monday. Yeah, before you start really going all crazy, this is from one of the guys that our Yara, our Dost, obviously Terjman and his Tyler. So big up the Tyler. Hopefully, if he does it, man, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean? That's what I can say. On Sunday, something happening, isn't there? 4:30.
Do we have to talk about this?
Is it half 3 or half 4? Half 3.
4:30.
4. What
You
are
got
we
me,
saying about the
Dad?
lineup? Because I'm sure it's half 3. I saw half.
You're 3. Absolutely right, Aki. That's
Yeah.
3.
3:30 on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
must be the whole bloody bollocks about managing
Yeah, 'cause you
fans
got
and crowds
West Ham-
and all that.
You've got West Ham Everton at 1. And then
Yeah, then there's 3 2:00 games,
Yeah,
and then there's a half.
yeah.
So like I said, that's I think they bought that because of the crowd going forward. But anyway, okay, whatever time we're gonna watch it. What you reckon's gonna happen?
They're gonna get smashed. Like
City,
I don't
yeah?
know. United are gonna get. No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I hope they give it everything, but I just can't see a win. I can't. I'm hoping obviously they take inspiration from Sir Bobby and they put in a fight. But I know it's at Old Trafford as well, but I just can't see it. I can just see it like literally like a beating. Penty. That's what it is, a penty. We're gonna get spanked straight up. And
After?
yeah, go on.
Can I reuse my Bayern Munich prediction and say if we lose 4-0, I'll be happy? I can't see us doing anything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I want the result. I don't care if it goes in off flipping Diaz's left shin or whatever. I don't care.
left jitter.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
You know what? In 2008, when it was the when they done the
that was a good year.
When they done the memory for obviously the Munich, and you remember when they changed the kits.
Yeah, playing blue, playing red, and City played in plain blue. I
Plain blue, yeah. I was there that game. We lost that game. And don't forget, that was probably one of our best teams in history as well. The likes of Ronaldo, Tevez, Giggs, and all them boys are all in that game. It became I was there, like I said, you could just feel the atmosphere. It was really overwhelming, like, do you know what I mean? And I think it might have got to the players as well at that time, and they lost the derby. So there's precedence of us losing games when it's a big occasion, an emotional occasion, like I says, which those boys did. Again, I've had a to and fro with Riz and the likes of Ted as well. I think I've come to the realization that no, I don't even hope no more. I'm not even hoping for the best and expecting the worst. I'm expecting us to lose.
Yeah, because now, Harps, I've noticed every time I'm positive, you're the other way around. And I'm just thinking, like,
it's weird when you're positive, bro. It's
weird.
No, like I said, I think the Spurs game really kind of confirmed it. Like before the season, and I think Ted mentioned it in our group, didn't he? He kind of said, I said, if we get a couple of players, especially a striker, I thought if we get Harry Kane, then I think we'll get we'll be contending for the title. Do you know what I mean? We'll be up there because this is going back off last year. But obviously, all the things that happened in the summer, you know, especially with the Amrabat deal and all that, you know, we couldn't get rid of Maguire, and we kept Maguire and Johnny Evans and all that business. And then I think
Maguire's looking all right now.
Yeah, but but then with the Spurs game, I think that kind of just just confirmed it for me. The nail in the coffin was the past 11 years. We've changed managers, we've changed players, and nothing's changed for us. So yes, we can go and change some more players, and yes, we can go and change another manager. But until these Glazers go, nothing's going to happen. No, I'm going to save this because I think we're going to have this discussion anyway after we win on Sunday, should I say? But like I said, even if we lose and we get a battering, I'm not surprised, and I've come immune to it now. I don't even get affected when it happens.
I'm at that stage now. Like, if we lose, I'm like, look, Sheikh Jassim's around the corner.
Would you change the lineup though?
From when from the weekday Champions League
from Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, Aki, what it is, and I always say this. Yes, Eric Ten Hag will get things wrong. Every manager does, because every manager loses a game, and the reason why they lost a game is because they got something wrong. Right? Let's not beat around the bush. But we just don't see what happens behind the scenes. We don't know what goes on. We don't know how people have trained or what we just don't like. Even everybody's talking about Garnacho should be starting. Garnacho came on the weekday. He fluffed the one chance, a bit like what Marcus Rashford did as well. There's one point when he first came on, he lost the ball, and Copenhagen went for an early attack and nearly scored. And there's a couple of other things he'd done as well. So that's just a small glimpse of what we're trying to do is not kill the players too early, too soon. I think we've probably done that with Rashford a little bit, because when he burst onto the scene when he was 18 years old and he was scoring all those goals, do you know what I mean? I think we kept playing him. I think he might be a bit burnt out, maybe somewhat like Michael Owen. Do you know what I mean? But even like what he's doing with Kobe Mainoo, you can see is a great thing. He obviously believes in Kobe Mainoo. I think we all can agree on that. But rather than just rushing him into the first team, he's letting him play on the under-19s. Have a half a game there.
You know what? I've got a feeling he might come on. He might start on the bench, Kobe Mainoo. But the only reason I ask is obviously on the weekday, we had Eriksen come on, and he more or less changed the game, didn't he?
But Aki, what we said about Eriksen last year? He hasn't got the legs.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But then everyone was like, when the lineups came out, everyone was talking about how Mount should have started.
Okay, just on that Eriksen point, because I pulled up the lineups now just to remind myself of who actually played on Tuesday. Eriksen hasn't got the legs. Amrabat has. Do you reckon that works?
Amrabat played on Wednesday night, Tuesday night. It didn't really do a lot. Do you know what I mean?
But isn't Casemiro back in training, or is he just?
No, he's back. He'll be back. Don't forget, I think he came back in training in the week, but he obviously was suspended for this game, Copenhagen game. So I think he'll be back. But I think Mason Mount was going to be that guy. And like with any player, I think he's just taking him time. He's got injured and things like that. I think it's just taking him time to get used to the way of playing and things of that nature. But yeah, I think. I don't know, Aki, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference whoever he plays, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, no, you know what it is? I'm in the same boat. We're going to get littered. Straight up, we're going to get littered. But what it is, I'm just trying to work out the lineup, because people are saying Mount should start.
But where do you put him?
Exactly. This is my point, because we all know for a fact the last game I got the lineup correct. I might as well literally just predict it again. Yeah, I might just predict it again. Anthony starts on the right, no matter what happens. Do you know what I mean? Rashford starts on the left, Haaland in the front. It's just a midfield three, because if you look at City's midfield three, I know they've not got Kevin De Bruyne, but it's still strong. You know what I mean?
It's not even a midfield three anymore. It's like, because he plays like this weird 3-4-1-2 sort of formation. So effectively, it's a midfield two.
Yeah, so even if you put
Haaland and Alvarez up front together,
what it is for us is our midfield is unbalanced, because you've got Casemiro, Amrabat, but then if you put Bruno ahead of him, what happens? Do you know what I mean? But then if you put Mount and Casemiro with Bruno, everyone says that doesn't work as well. But then it's just like, if you put Eriksen in there, who gets dropped? But then if you bring in Kobe Mainoo, what happens? It's unbalanced, or the midfield literally is unbalanced.
Okay, we should have bought Caicedo. I said it in the summer. We should have got Caicedo.
You know what? Look, we could have bought Caicedo. We could have even bought Jude Bellingham. Yeah. It just wouldn't work.
I saw a meme the other day that was it was a picture of I felt really bad on Jesse, but it was a picture of Jesse Lingard, and it was like, if Bellingham joined United, this would have been the end result. I thought, you know what, I agree with it. I think he would have done what all our new signings do and have that good first season, and then he would have just been dragged into the turmoil and just swept up in it all. And
yeah, like I said, I don't think it would have made much of a difference, if I'm honest with you. So that's what I've gone with. I think, yeah. Actually, just
can I bring up one talking point?
Of course.
David De Gea.
I think it's already said no.
I think he's been shut down. I think
he sort of questioned it with his tweet.
I think he's questioning the article that came out from the Sun. Not because I think a lot of people today have just come out and said it's not happening from credible journalists. But I think obviously what it is, from what I got told, is Ten Hag and Murto haven't even spoken to De Gea since the last game of the season. So from then on, there was no communication, nothing at all. So if you put it from that point of view, I don't think he was never going to come back. I think it was just a point of thinking from De Gea's tweet today, thinking, where's these reports come from? I mean, the guy just does emojis. Do you know what I mean? But I would actually give... Yeah, I know. I would actually give the Turkish guy a chance. Because I think he's a good keeper. I've been watching him, his YouTube and stuff. I know it's not games and stuff, but it's just obviously highlights. But I think he's a decent keeper that can improve a lot in all areas.
Well, when we got Newcastle, it's not next Tuesday, is it? Or is it next Tuesday?
I'm not too sure. When's the international break? Because I can't wait for that.
No.
I'm sick of international breaks.
It's happened now, Aki. That's it, no more. But we're playing them Wednesday, Newcastle.
Yeah, oh yeah, because we've got the break before the second Copenhagen game. But yeah, it's just I you know what? Given how they play, I don't think he plays there either. I think Onana starts.
You know what? Onana actually lifted his own confidence at the end. You know, I was literally like on the edge of my seat, thinking, "We fucked up, we messed up." But then for him to come out and just literally save that penalty, you know what?
You know what? Actually, I hate being where we are at the moment in time. I really, really hate it. I'll explain what I mean by that. When we scored on, actually, this is always now for the last few games, few weeks, few months.
At least you know how I felt, though, innit? At least you know how I feel now, innit?
No, I get that, and I think we'll discuss it. And I'm going to discuss it on Sunday, I think. But when we score, I've got no emotion. When we concede, I've got no emotion. Even when Onana saved that goal, I had no emotion. I done a little fist bump. I went, yes, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just know deep down nothing's going to happen. We're not going to win the Champions League. We're not going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? You know, yes, this point is going to really help us now. It's going to kick us on. We're going to go and do something. We're going to go and achieve something. But now that's all gone, man. All gone. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's thanks to the Glazers. But yeah, I think think we've said it a couple of times now. I think we hopefully should do a podcast on Sunday. I'll explain to everybody now. It's only going to be two ways. We're going to be absolutely on cloud nine. And, you know, we're going to be doing Pangada, we'll be doing all the other stuff like, do you know what I mean? Or we're just going to get a proper Haraami. And if Riz joins us, all I'm going to say is, people, sit down, get some popcorn.
Going off, mate.
You're not going to need no patake. Halloween's going to come. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be all the scary, all the stuff.
Get your popcorn, get your nachos, put your feet up.
Yeah, man, you might need some hajimullah as well after you're done, because it's gonna be one. But I'm just finally gonna say, look, I did send out a tweet earlier as well. But you know, if I think people, do you know Sam Jaugi or Sam Jajani? Yeah. So all I'm gonna say is, gal mere son mere niyaneo, is tarti te rehne waleo, khush kha leo, khush